Alice in Chains, The Devil Put Dinosaurs Here. Yeah, I finally got the CD today because Mr. Wally World didn't have it last week because they ain't got jack shit. So I ordered it and I got it today. And I've sat down and listened to the whole thing in my little media room. No distractions, no TV, no internet, no texting, no nothing. Just sat there and listened to the whole CD, which clocks in at a monstrous 67 minutes. Wow, that's a lot of music. Well, I will say this. It's better than Black Gives Way to Blue. I do like Black Gives Way to Blue, but I find myself, kind of going back further, listening to, Dirt, Face, everything else they ever did. I always listened to a little more. I thought Black was a good CD, but it felt more like a kind of a Jerry Cantrell solo album with some new members. One being William Duvall. Did he even sing on that album? I think they pushed his vocals so far back. No, I don't know. Maybe, I know. He's on the album. Speaking of which, William Duvall is a great singer, and a lot of people don't know, but he used to be in a punk rock band, and me and him about the same age. He's from Atlanta, born in '67, just like I was. He was in Neon Christ, a punk band back in the early '80s. And which is, I think my brother used to talk about Neon Christ. I'm almost positive I heard that name mentioned several times throughout my high school years. I wasn't really that much into punk. I like metal more. But he was a lead guitarist in Neon Christ, and later on went into to sing and stuff in bands like Mad Fly and Comes with the Fall, which I think it's called. And that's how him and Jerry Cantrell were able to hook up, because he was opening for Cantrell's solo efforts. But anyway, that's a little backstory on William Duvall, which is he is a singer guitar player. So damn, man, the guy's cool. And he does sing on a couple tracks here. I've only listened to the thing one time, and I've heard those singles, Hollow and Stone, a couple times. I don't know. There's a couple on there toward the end, like, I don't know the exact ones. I can tell that there's a few on there that it sounds like just him singing, which is cool, with it, not even any harmonized vocals, which is something that Alice in Chains is kind of famous for, and that's what Jerry Cantrell and Lane Staley were able to do almost magically, or maybe dark magically in an evil way. There was one song, I don't know if it was Phantom Limb or Breath on a Window, where in the middle of the song, I think a solo was playing or something, and it was like a real wash of heavy music, heavy guitars, and then all of a sudden I heard someone go like, "Yeah," and I swear it sounded like Lane Staley had just like come out of the grave and was singing. I swear, and it gave me goosebumps for a second. And I guess it was a William Duvall kind of just singing over this lead or something, just this simple "oh yeah" kind of thing, and it was strange. But anyway, it's well worth your time and your money. Your 67 minutes are you're not gonna regret it. There's a few reviewers out there that have given it like 3 stars out of 5, and said that, I don't know, that I read through a few of them and I was like laughing. I'm not quite sure what they were expecting. You got a band that has not been a band. All right, Lane Staley died in 2002. This is 2013, and they put out the Black Album it's a couple years ago. So the space between Staley dying and Black Gives Way to Blue was a long time. And Alice in Chains was no more. Alice in Chains shouldn't even be a band now. And I think that's where a lot of the critics don't understand. And maybe it's Is Jerry Cantrell forcing this? Is he saying, like, I know I can make a little more money by putting the Alice in Chains name out there. I can get into festivals and sell more tickets and more shirts and more blah blah blah. I don't friggin' know, man. I don't care about that kind of crap, that politics. I think he just want to continue the band. Why not? I guess it's definitely better than I thought it was. It's really heavy and dark, and I love the title. When I heard the title last year for the first time, uh, the devil put dinosaurs here. I knew it. I knew immediately what he was talking about. That whole Christian deal, meaning that uh, if you're a hardcore Christian and believe in the Bible, the Earth itself is not really that old. If you look at it in biblical terms, there will be no way for dinosaurs to be here because Christians don't believe the Earth is really that old, even though it's billions of years old, whatever. And so it must mean that dinosaurs never existed, and the devil put them here to cause your faith to be tested. And that song right there has some pretty hardcore lyrics. Very simple and straightforward. It ain't Shakespeare. It ain't Dylan Thomas or Lord Byron. But it's still, I liked it, and I agreed with every single thing that was said in the, I'm not quite sure if I would call the album that. Uh, you know, it's a kind of a strange title, a long title. Uh, whatever. But overall, it's very solid and very tight. It's a very tight feel to it. It feels like they went from being on the road and then right into the recording studio or something. I just really like the sound of it, and I was surprised at I, how heavy it sounded to me. But there were, I think, on the song "Breath on a Window" at the tail end of it, it kind of gets in this kind of hard rock vibe, and Cantrell's doing this solo at the end that has this really kind of like mid 70s kind of Deep Purple, Tommy Bolin, Robin Trower kind of guitar solo that surprised me because of the hard rock vibe and not the so-called grunge or sludginess. I hate using the word grunge. I'd rather say sludge, but then a band that's sludgy is more like Crowbar. They're like a sludge band or a band like I Hate God or whatever. But it's a very solid album, and I don't understand some of these bad reviews. It sold 61,000 copies the first week. I mean, he's got Sean Kinney and Mike. I mean, shit, man. He's got the band. He's got a band back. He just doesn't have Lane. I think that's what everyone's upset about. He does not have Lane Staley. He's dead. But it would be kind of like having, what if the Doors, Morrison died in, what was it, 71? What if, like, in a few years after, what about in the mid-70s if the Doors, Ray Manzarek, rest in peace, brother, you just passed away. What if him and the other guys had brought in another singer? Who could replace Jim Morrison, right? Well, who can replace Lane Staley? Well, nobody. The band's never going to be the same. It's always, and maybe this is it. Maybe this is the last album. And if it is the last album for this band, under the moniker of Alice in Chains, that's fine. Is it a swan song kind of album? I don't know. A little bit. It is very good, I think, and my expectations were not that high because I heard those two songs and I was like, well, it kind of sounded like songs from Black Gives Way to Blue, and I was like, well, were they like leftover tracks or something? But it stands up, and it's cool, and it's definitely worth your time. And don't get upset when people are like, damn, these songs be long. Why they so long? I guess I listen to so much doom metal. Electric Wizard, My Dying Bride, Solitude Eternus, Reverend Bizarre. Listen to all these doom bands, Yob, where the songs are like 10, 12, 15 minutes long. I mean, on Electric Wizard's We Live album, the last track, I think it's Saturn's Children. It's 15 minutes long, man. Shit. I mean, So I'm used to long songs, so I don't have a problem with the length of of it of any of the songs. Whether it's, I don't know. I heard some complaints online. I saw that and I laughed at that. I guess people have a very, very short attention span and they want to get back to Facebook. They want to get back to tweeting and chirping and twerping and making stupid comments on YouTube or getting or whatever people do a lot online. You know, God forbid anything's over 3 minutes long. Ah, you know, and oh, and I will say this: they do slow things down a little bit. Like songs like "Voices" slows down things a little bit, and the song "Scalpel" it has that kind of a heaven beside you kind of sound and a little bit of an unplugged feel. Especially on "Scalpel," you can hear the acoustic guitar a lot, and it's done with great effect. And also on the last song "Choke." Is like that. I mean, it's not like an outright. There's not really any outright ballads on here. You won't get some kind of piano thing, and you're not gonna get that here. Like the way Black Gives Way to Blue ended, kind of like very sad. Um, but you know they do slow things down a couple times. But overall, it's a sludgy, dark, kind of evil, depressing album that I guess only Jerry Cantrell and Alice in Chains could make, and it it is a it goes with their their whole category of the way they make music. It fits what they've always done. And I think even Lane Staley would be proud of it. For all you out there that say like Alice in Chains, oh gosh, I need Lane back. Well, he's not coming back, dude. He overdosed. Get over it. This probably will be the last album. I don't know. Who knows? But that's my opinion. And opinions are like, yeah. So go out and get the album. Don't go to Walmart because you won't find it there. Go to Best Buy. Go to Amazon or wherever and get it and crank it up loud, and you will find yourself in a dark well of misery, and it will be Alice in Chains.